do an after dark podcast that could be a little more explicit, but
Ooh.
Love it.
well, Matthew already started with a little joke about that a little early.
I mean,
What'd you do, you bad man?
Leave it to Matthew.
You weren't here, so
So you can't. Early bird gets the worm.
Well. Mm-hmm. Well, welcome to the Swirl Suite, everybody. We are with the cast of Sparklers from SOMM TV. Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Woo!
Hey.
Good. Very exciting.
That's good.
Welcome,
So, of course, we need some introductions first. So, who wants to go first? Oh,
I'll go first. It's my night.
Yeah, thank you, George.
All right. My name is George Washington Carver Walker III. I am currently living in Napa Valley, beautiful, beautiful Napa. I work for Wade Cellars, owned by none other than the notorious Dwayne Wade, as well as the Pallmeyer family. And I am a cast member on the new show, Sparklers.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us. What was that?
I said, you always go first. You went first on the first episode, too. Everybody sat back and watched you.
He's not scared. Yeah, we were all like,
yeah.
I'll go next. My name is Matthew Joseph Kaner I, and I come to you from Los Angeles, California. Brought up in Santa Barbara, just north of here, where I started my wine journey. I'm now 16 years into the wine world. I used to own wine bars, and now I do consulting, education, ambassadorship, things like that. And I get to make TV and podcasts and content with lovely people like all y'all below me from Sparklers for the SOMM TV network.
Nice. Welcome.
I knew that was going to happen.
Bound to happen to one of us.
Megan, go.
Okay, my name is Megan Zobak. I live in Napa, same as George and Miriam, which I'm
Napa
super
love.
stoked about. Exactly. I'm a winemaker for Burgess Cellars and also for my own brand that I'm getting ready to release called M. Zobak Wines. So hopefully that'll come out soon. And just really stoked to be here. Thanks for having me.
Is that an exclusive, Megan?
Or the scoop?
You mean my brand?
Yes.
So it is going to be released, I hope, this spring. I'm developing the label right now, but yes, it will be mostly exclusive, although I think I'm going to try to get placement in a couple places in California too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Leslie has a wine club. That's why she asked. She
Oh, cool.
I'm always in search of.
I
love it. I'll send you some.
Okay, you can't just send Leslie some.
Yeah, you got to send all of us.
No. Now, let's stay focused.
We all get cases of wine.
Exactly.
What you're saying.
You heard it here first.
You can just send me the mags of Krug and Ruin Art you have instead if you want. Just kidding. I want your wine too. I'm just gonna jump back off that. I'm Claire Kopi. I'm also in Los Angeles along with Mr. Matthew Kaner. I worked in restaurants. I was most recently the wine director of a restaurant called Sushi Note. Cast member of Sparklers, and I also do some other little projects here and there with SOMM TV. Thanks for having us.
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm Miriam Ahmed. I'm trying to introduce myself while my cat also tries to introduce herself. Rookie mistake. I forgot to put her away.
Gotta lock him out.
I'm also based with Meg and George. I am the owner of my own business, Miriam and Company. I work with wineries and wine organizations to create educational programs to help them launch projects. And I work with clients that are specifically committed to diversity and sustainability. I do a few other things, but I am also a cast member on SOMM TV and came into the competition with people pretty nervous, but I think we're here to talk about that a little bit today, a little more today. At my house for dinner last night, so we're still cooking together. We're still hanging out.
What did you cook last night?
Please tell us.
What did you cook?
I made chana masala and dal last night.
Ooh.
Lentils and chickpeas.
Did you have
Yo,
sparkling
where-
wine
where
with
was
it
my-
too?
George is mad. George like, George. Sorry, George. It was a ladies' night. It really was.
Oh.
We didn't. We had Finger Lakes Riesling pairing.
Nice.
With
Oh, that
it.
was
Very
the
nice.
Forge Cellars.
Yeah.
The Forge
Yeah.
Cellars. Yeah,
Good
that's
call.
actually, there was a little left, so that's what I'm drinking right now.
Nice.
Very nice. So Matthew, you
Your
were
own
kind of
boss.
telling us the story of how this all came about, and your quote made this shit happen. So tell us the story.
We made this shit happen. You know, the idea came about from Jason Wise, who's our executive producer, director. And, you know, it was the first time I had ever been tasked with kind of starting a concept. And we put wineries, like put the word out to wineries to get the right wines involved. And the idea of doing a food focused competition show with a wine element that made it actually part of the competition was the first of its kind. And so we knew it was special. We also didn't know how to get there because making like a chef's style show was something Jason always wanted to do. He really wanted to make kind of that next big thing on the competition side, but doing it with a wine focus was a challenge, and it's always going to be a challenge. But having the right wineries involved was the kind of the first real test of concept, and we got Krug and Ruinart to say yes. I mean, that right there, you know, you're on the right track. So, you know, it started there, and then they were quietly doing casting, which is how our whole Napa triumvirate came to be, which worked out really awesomely. And none of us really knew what we were getting into, which is kind of awesome also.
Yes, it is. So ridiculous. So come on.
Yeah. So what was that like? What was that? Can everybody tell like your casting story? Like how were you cast and what that felt like?
Honestly, mine happened like mad randomly. I was in just outside of Paso, and I was over at Raj Parr's house, and he was showing me his farm. And you know, we were just like chopping it up and talking. And he was like, "Oh, we might have to go in like 10 minutes because my homie's coming." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." And he was like, "Yeah, he created the movie SOMM." I was like, "Oh shit, that's wild. That's crazy." Like at this time, I hadn't met Jason before, so I tell you, at this point, I hadn't met Jason before. So, you know, I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." So I'm like waiting around, and you know, up comes Jason, his two beautiful children, his wife, and you know, we just started like, you know, just talking and chopping it up. And we went over to another one of Raj's properties, and you know, we're looking at all the grapes. We're looking at the creek that's right there. I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous. If you haven't gone, I highly suggest going. But anyway, so we're like walking in the field and whatnot. Jason breaks out his drone, and it's getting like drone footage and whatnot, and doing all this, getting crazy shots and stuff. And then we end up leaving. But after that, Jason was like, "Hey, why don't you all meet us up over at this restaurant?" I forget the name of the restaurant, what it was called, but it was right on the water. It was right around the time where Dungeness crab season was in. So we got a whole bunch of Dungeness crabs. We're drinking Chardonnay. And that's how we like initially met. And you know, maybe 2 weeks later, he's like, "Hey, I think you'd be perfect for this show that I have coming up." And I was like, "Yo, say less. Let's rock. Let's do it."
He wooed you.
He definitely wooed me.
Jason's good at
For
wooing.
sure.
He's a wooer,
He's a wooer.
big time wooer.
Yeah, I had worked with SOMM TV a little bit, you know, for a couple of years, like leading up to this. And Jason had mentioned this to me, that there would be this cooking pairing with sparkling wine down the road. And I think originally, and I think he asked you the same question, Matt, if we would be judges. And so I was like, yeah, I will absolutely sit down and drink wine and eat food and judge things. But then I want to say like a month before we started shooting, and maybe I'm being generous. They're like, oh no, you're cooking. I was like, hey, wet now in the wet. I was like, oh God, no. So that was a fun little turn of events. Didn't have much time to process that, but you know, it worked out well. I got to have fun up in Oregon and Sonoma with these fine people.
I didn't know that originally you were cast as judges.
Well, wow. I mean, I think it was just Jason, like, you know, spitball it, like, is that the term for it? Spitballing ideas, you know, is that what it is? I think he was just, yeah. And then he decided on the 5 of us, which is, it worked out well.
And it all really took shape, like, no joke, the 3 weeks before we all went up to Oregon. We had all committed to going to Oregon to shoot without really knowing what it was going to be.
That's true. I had worked with Jason and the crew on a series that I created while I was at the Culinary Institute called Conversations at Copia. So I had like worked with them from a filming, but not on screen, except to do my welcoming remarks for the program. And then Jason and I had just stayed in touch. He called me like the day after he got his vaccine, actually, and he was like, I don't feel great. And his phone up, and he said something about like, we're going to shoot a show. It's happening next month, foraging and sparkling wine. And I was like, okay, just let me know where to be.
I worked with Jason too on one other thing. I did a blind tasting with him. And so then he was like talking to me, and actually, George, I think I was in Santa Barbara, Cambria at the same time you were. Because I think we just missed each other on that trip, but I remember.
Oh yeah, you're right. We totally missed each other.
Which
That's
is
crazy.
So crazy. Yeah.
Like literally by like an hour.
Like an hour, yeah. But he was like kind of. I was so nervous on the one thing that I did with Jason before this. I was just like, I'm never doing this again. Like, I was like, I'm not meant for this. Like, this is just not for me. Like, I get too nervous for this stuff. I sound crazy. So he was like kind of telling me that he like had this idea for this show, and it was kind of the same where I actually said no because I was like, I'm like not really a TV person. Like I don't have, you know, like, I don't know, all my cast members, you guys are like so good on film. And so I was just like, oh, I'm not really, like, that's not really me. And so then he kind of said,
you are so good. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but you are so
very good on camera.
You were good.
No, you guys are like also like, you're just so like great on film. But so then so I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then he came back and he kind of said the same thing to me, Claire, where he was like, well, what if we made you a judge instead? And I think he was just trying to get me out there because I didn't know. I didn't know until we like got out there and I was like, oh my God. And then I see you all and I'm like, I know you guys are really good cooks. So this is going to be crazy.
We all got wised.
Yeah, we got wise.
We got wise.
We got wise. Yeah.
It's all right. He's a wise guy.
But I'm so obviously so happy I did it. It was so much fun.
Oh man. So at that point, like, how did y'all prepare for this competition? Like, you got to cook, you got to show up and you got to show your skills. What did you do?
Look at Claire. She was like, nothing.
There was no preparation. You just showed up.
I mean, like we said, it was so like down to the wire kind of when we found out about all this. I don't even know that we knew because they gave us like a heads up on like the main ingredient for the dishes like ahead of time, but like not much. So a lot of times it was like in that moment that we were finding out about it. Yeah. So when, you know, like when you hear like Miriam, I remember you saying before one thing, you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I guess I'll go. And that was like, she said that everything and every single time. And I was like, she knows what she's going to do. That's why it's all perfect. But it felt like that, you know, it was very much like, I don't know what to do with snail caviar. Like what is it? You know? So
I think we all got lucky too, though, that COVID had just happened. And so everyone was kind of home cooking more than maybe you would have otherwise. Especially in all of our jobs, and Miriam may be a little bit more conducive to cooking more given her past role, you know, at the CIA and things like that. But, you know, when I was owning wine bars and working 78 hours a week, like I wasn't home cooking 7 nights a week. So having that real fucked up time of all being home for like multiple weeks at a time, having to create your own food, it almost worked out, I think, to our advantage to then going into a situation where we were all cooking on camera.
I ordered out a lot, Matt.
Well,
I
so
was
did
gonna say,
I.
I was the opposite. I
I
ordered
was too
out
busy
like
gaining like
almost every
25
night.
pounds.
I
But
was
Matt,
getting ready.
there's one thing being a home cook, but what you did was artful. And I was I watched the episodes and I was like, okay, they all have a wine background. I understand that or what have you. But then when you started preparing dishes, I was like, oh, no fair. Like, these are artful
Right?
presentations.
Well,
like, how did you guys know?
Two of us,
The flavors all went together. Everything.
one
was
went to a
perfect.
culinary school and another worked at the most prestigious culinary institute there is, literally. So there was a
Helps.
lot of obviously past preparation that got to play there. I've worked at restaurants since I was like 14. I've eaten a lot. I don't know if you can tell by my build, but I eat a lot of food, so I know what food tastes like. When you work in the wine world, you can't escape the culinary gastronomic influence. They are one and the same. So, when you get to travel the world and eat some of the best food there is, even if you're not actively taking notes, if you take photos or you have muscle memory on the dishes you've had, you're literally taking notes. It's muscle notes. So I think
100%.
I beg to differ. Matt. There's a difference between drinking wine and eating good food and actually preparing it. So I was blown away. I was like, so do they all have a culinary background? I remember, I saw that Miriam was at the CIA, and I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, now I could make you some spaghetti, but you talk about going out and foraging and not trying to kill Miriam with what you got in your field.
She's still here.
I'm still here.
Mushrooms, now you're hallucinating because I picked a hallucinogenic mushroom. Show done. Right.
And they're legal in Oregon.
We may
so
have.
be careful.
We may have.
Yeah, I might be
Should've been a
altered.
strategy.
Honestly, I mean, I can't believe we're even still having this conversation of Miriam and George, because, we all seen the show. So I will just say that in case people listening haven't finished yet. But I want to say for the record, like Matt, I did work at the CIA, but I worked a lot of hours. I'd come home and I'd make fried eggs and have some greens. And that was like my meal. So I can understand. I'm not saying I didn't have a little bit of experience because we were teaching home chefs, but I had a crew teaching. I was just someone helping get people where they were going and helping other educators like shine. So I don't have formal culinary training, to be fair.
But you do
George
soak
does.
it up. George does.
I mean, yeah, kind of. I went to culinary school, but I didn't major in culinary. I majored in food and beverage management. But however, I have worked the line at a multitude of different restaurants throughout my life. So I'm a damn good line cook for sure. But there's a difference between being a line cook and kind of cooking for a competition. It's a completely different atmosphere. One is, of course, time. Two is the added pressure of all the lenses and cameras that are on you. And then three, just being amongst all your peers, and also while being, extremely hungover.
Yeah.
What do we drink?
Wondering if y'all were hungover. I was like, all that wine. Oh, I know they having
my
a good
goodness.
time.
And then they kept saying, pour me some more. What does
Tired.
this taste like? Oh, do you need another glass? Do you want a glass? How
It's pretty
what's the
rough.
time
And
period at which
we
they
had a
filmed this?
ball in Oregon. We popped magnums of Krug, magnums of Ruinard, caviar. I mean, oysters. I mean, it was just like, it was very decadent, but also at the same time, it was really intense because, we were filming, back to back to back to back. Some nights we didn't end until like, 11 o'clock at night. It was definitely intense, but it was, an amazing experience. There were a lot of cigars had in the jacuzzi.
A lot of hot tub time. Yeah.
a lot of hot tub
Pool
time.
time.
A lot of ping pong time. I reigned champion amongst the cast, at least.
Come on.
Amongst the cast. I think I think who has the, I can't even remember who won amongst the crew. I think Jackson, actually.
For
Jackson was
ping pong?
really good. Yeah.
I want to say I don't remember. I was just like in that potato salad while that was happening. It's just like.
So did the food get better with the more you drank, or so how did that work out?
Maybe
Ask the
less
judges.
nervous.
I never really got to
Yeah, you
judge.
stopped caring. Oh, yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Ask the people who won. I don't know. They're, like anyone who won the Perfect Bite Challenge then got to be a judge and taste all the food. So like the ladies swept all the Perfect Bite challenges. They kicked our asses.
I consecutively got second place. I got a lot of second place finishes.
I don't know. The judge's seat is not an enviable one, though.
No
I don't know.
kidding.
Yeah. I don't know if
How
that's what
did
you
the
were going
food
to
taste?
say.
How did the food taste though? You got to try it.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I was
Pretty good.
impressed.
I'm mad at that. But it also, an aspect of being the judge, yeah, there was that pressure of just like, and after Miriam went through it and I gave her crap for that mushroom dish, it sucks because, we've become friends. And I think that's a nice aspect of the show as well, that maybe some people say it's a failing, but that we don't like, there's no drama or backstabbing or like, there's trash talk, but it's just, us like busting each other's balls, that there is like real love, and care between us all. So it sucks when like, when you know how hard we're all like working and you have to kind of like crush people's souls and just be like, it was good, but it wasn't good enough. And it's like, what are you talking about? It was hard. And it also sucked too, because then when you're the judge, you had to be like cloistered away from the rest of the group.
Yeah.
So you're just kind of like,
sure.
I wonder what they're doing.
You don't get to drink with them or play ping pong with them. You're just in the corner.
Especially that last episode when you all were doing the lobster dishes. I was like, at first it was nice, and then I'm like, I'm so bored and I want to hang out with them.
Like the whole day you were by yourself, right?
I was so alone.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I'd like walk around and Nadine was like, where are you going? It's just like, I don't know. To the bathroom.
How much time did y'all spend together, like to complete the show?
Oh man.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Straight 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks.
Two nonstop weeks.
It was broken up into 2 different times, but we did Oregon in April, and then in like early June we did the second part in Sonoma, and there was a week each time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yeah, I have to say, so I watch a lot of food competitions, Chopped, and your Top Chef, and it's always like one person like, oh, I don't like him, he's an asshole, he's arrogant. I got attached to all of you, watching all of you. Like I wanted all of you to win. That's so rare. You guys have like a great camaraderie. Do you guys have a group chat now?
For sure.
We have a few group chats.
Yeah,
the cast group chat, the cast and crew group chat.
Yeah, for sure.
Email, Slack, text, Instagram,
WhatsApp.
Yes.
All of it.
Don't slack me, Matthew. Don't slack me.
I mean, I'm not trying to, but
Like none of us. And we also, and I have to say, like, I also have to shout out our crew because, we talk about how tired we were. They were up before us and to bed way after us, cleaning up our messes in the kitchen. Like we just got to breeze on out of there. And, our poor producers, and they're scrubbing pots and stuff. And yeah, I have to give them a major shout out, and they're all delightful.
For sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Is there an ingredient that you did not like to prepare during the show?
Snail eggs.
Snails.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Snails.
Yeah.
I thought we were getting
Why are they?
snails.
Why? Who eats those?
That shit was weird.
They're gross.
Yeah. How do you get
Tasted
snail
like-
eggs? Like who decided that this was great? A good idea.
You have to gently
stocks the
massage the
snail?
snail.
Right.
Ew.
Like
The snail.
I want to
No,
meet
they're
the person
they're probably
who was like,
farmed, right?
Yeah.
They're probably farmed.
yeah, oh yeah, at this point, yeah.
I'm
for
sure, yeah, but
Yeah.
what
Wild.
person in the history of the world
Exactly.
decided, like I'm gonna eat this?
The French.
Like what?
Yeah. Not me.
The French. Yeah, it tasted like oozy moss in a, I don't know.
It was
Yeah.
very
I don't
green.
need to have
was-
it
They were hard to pop. It was
in your mouth.
weird.
Yeah, they keep like sliding between your teeth, and you couldn't quite
Right.
like bite down on them.
I just was
Yeah.
like, I remember watching that episode and then thinking Siobhan had 5 bites of snail caviar.
Poor
Bless her.
Siobhan. I mean,
She didn't wince once.
God bless her palate. Good
seriously.
Yeah,
God.
Because we did a great job at integrating it into perfect bites.
obviously.
But yeah, we could have.
He also always had some sparkling with it too, so that probably helped
Yeah.
That helps.
wash it all.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true.
For
That glass stayed full, so
for sure.
I'll be a little controversial and say I didn't answer snail eggs like they all did. As weird as that is, I'm kind of the dissident on uni. I don't love uni. I like it. I don't love it. And I also think we tend to overportion it in America, thinking, kind of this bigger is better, more is better concept. I like a medallion of uni, like a quarter size. And we always want more tongues, more this, more. I just think it's too much. So for me, it was uni. And that was the founder of Corvan, Greg, got to do the uni, and he was so into it because he loves uni, which good for him. But for me, uni was not my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have a favorite challenge?
I think that the uni one actually for me was where I was like most confident. It was my dish was just so simple, honestly. I'm a very simple cook at heart, at best. But all I did was it was butter, toast, and uni, and then I think a little bit of lemon, and that was it. But that was my second time having uni. The first time I had it was probably maybe like 2 weeks before that, and it wasn't as fresh. So this was really like the first time that I got to have like good uni that was amazing. I loved it. It was I think that was my favorite challenge.
I liked what, George?
I was gonna say that was my favorite solo challenge. I love cooking with everybody for sure, but I love the conversations that Mary and I had while we were cooking. I think that was really cool, really powerful, impactful. I love cooking with everybody though. It was dope. Like it was really cool.
Thanks, G. My favorite was the honey episode, actually. I know that kind of maybe sounds like because I won that challenge, but I love the ingredients. I won that one.
It was a good one.
But I also, because I learned so much about bees. Emily was so cool. We like spent the entire day while we were all filming talking about bees, and it was awesome.
That was super cool.
Honey looked delicious, I must say. I'm a big honey. And when you all were like, well, let me try this one first, and then let me try this. Oh, no, never mind. I'm just going to use this one. You went right back to the first one that you tasted that you really love. So, I really
that was cool.
That was fun.
Reaction when the honey lady said, "Oh, I don't like things too sweet."
Yeah.
You're like,
and
we were like, what?
Honey.
Like, huh?
Right.
Sure.
Yeah, that was weird.
My favorite was the lobster. I've always loved lobster. I don't really eat it all that often. And I had obviously never killed one, which we all got to do on camera, which was, they did a good editing job. They didn't make any of us look like we're monsters.
That was so funny. That was so funny.
The behind the scenes on that is worth a watch, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Mary,
that'll be locked up in a vault, I'm sure.
PETA will get.
Meg and I haven't had lobster since.
They said originally too, before we even knew it was going to go down like it did. I remember us being like, but they're not going to be alive, right? Like, we're not going to have to kill them. And one of our producers was like, oh, no. I think we're just going to get the tail for you. And then I found out like as you guys were doing it, I was like, oh, they're getting the tail, and they're like, no, they have to kill them. And I was just like,
no, we got wised again. That was a Jason.
I know. Jason's like, no, they're gonna be alive. He's like,
he's like, if the whole cast is gonna get along, this is where the drama is gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, to go up against Claire, in that case, to go for the chance to go to France. I mean, you gotta slay a few dragons sometimes. Unfortunately, the lobsters were our dragons we had to slay. And Claire, was it worth it? Did they taste good?
So good. That was probably my favorite challenge too. Because I got to eat 4 beautiful. They were so good. That was really difficult.
That was the most intimidating for me because of the lobsters.
Sure.
So everybody still has all their appendages, right?
Thank God. Yeah.
That we know.
I mean, I think George had his lobster broken down before I had even killed mine. It was a psychological game at that point.
I actually noticed that watching the episode. He was just kind of nonchalantly doing it as you guys were talking, and you're looking over it like, am I doing this? What?
I'm like having a real crisis of conscience in that moment. And George is just over there just like, done. He's already in the water. Like, okay.
Did you guys have the options, by the way, to boil? I guess boiling would take too long, right? For just putting it straight in the water.
I think Miriam boiled
We
hers,
could have.
right?
I did,
But not to
but
kill it.
after, after
Yeah.
I killed it. This is great. Fodder.
Yeah, you don't just like throw it in the boiling water. That's worse.
Yeah, it is worse.
I know. I just wanted to know if you guys had that option.
Oh, okay. I'm confused because I didn't see this episode. So throwing a crustacean in the boiling water was worse than what? Just chopping his head off?
Yeah, for the animal, it's more humane to just do a quick.
Knife to the brain.
Yeah.
Well, then in
Typically-
Maryland, we are all going to hell because we just throw them the pot and had some Old Bay. What are y'all?
Smack it in.
There it is.
I mean,
Keep
when
it down.
you watch
The easiest,
when you watch
the
the
easiest
episode,
way, the easiest way to do it, or the most humane, I would say, is to put it in the freezer. And when you put it in the freezer, it kind of goes to sleep. And from there, what you do is you take your knife and you put it, you put the tip of the knife in between its eyeballs, like if the knife were standing up, and then you go down, and that way you can humanely kill the lobster.
So George, so I can understand. So you gonna put it to sleep and wake it up in boiling water?
It's not waking up. It's not waking up.
No,
it's not waking up.
It's not waking up, Glennis. It's gone. It's sleeping forever.
It's at the bottom of the river at that point. There's no waking up.
Okay,
It's got some concrete shoes.
They put you in this state, and then we wake you up after we take all the. Okay.
But I did feel compelled to say a little. I said a little prayer to mine before I killed it. And I wanted to send it off and hopefully bring a trip to France to one of us. And. It's life, If I wasn't the killer, someone else would have been. That's how that works. It's a lot.
Killer be killed.
It's the circle of life.
So tell us your favorite wine that you had to pair with your food. What was your favorite?
Oh, Krug.
Krug.
Yeah, Krug is always good. I do have to say though, the Lytle Barnett wine's very much impressed me.
Really
Really
good.
nice.
Agreed.
The rosé was like
Phenomenal.
Legit. Yeah.
It was so good.
And there was a lot more
Krug,
of that on hand than the Krug. We didn't have as much of the Krug and Ruinart on hand.
We went through that Krug pretty fast.
The Mac directly into Kaner in my face. Supporting each other's faces.
I ended up for me the Ana Maria Clemente bottling from Cado Bosco was, I mean, I had that wine before, but I never got to really like sit down with it the way we got to. And I know Krug and Ruinart well. I've been to both of the wineries, like, humble brag, but Ana Maria Clemente is one of those wines. There's none of it available. Like maybe 36 packs come to the US, and they gave us 12 bottles to pour for for our episodes. So for me, it's a more rare wine technically than, even though I love Krug and I love Ruinart on a different level, the rarity and also just the ability to get to know that wine on a different level for me made it kind of more special in a way.
Yeah.
For sure. I also love the light flexes that Matt throws out just in everyday life.
Oh, those were
constant.
Those were constant.
I got made fun of a lot by my female colleagues. There might be a video surfacing somewhere about my, selling my businesses and drinking Krug for breakfast, potentially.
I drink Krug for breakfast.
And I apparently have a German accent too. I didn't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Baron von Kenner.
It went with the potato salad, I
It
think.
went with the potato salad.
We're all afraid of becoming memes, I think.
Oh man.
I'm not afraid. I
With our
leaned in. We're good.
faces.
Bring me.
Is there something new that you learned about yourself after the show?
Man, I've learned that I need to sleep. Holy shit, man. Like I'm not, my body is not the same when I was younger. For real, I could party like for weeks on end and like still be able to like wake up, be, full like 100. And nah, that was definitely not it. And in Oregon, I crashed.
Yeah.
For for sure. How many cases did we go through?
Like
honey,
7 or
I
8
don't know.
Yeah, we went through a lot of wine that
in
week.
6 days.
Yeah, it was intense. It was great.
And then at the Joy, remember at the Joy, freaking day one, George.
Oh,
we were
man.
at the Joy and they were like, you can take whatever wine in our cellar that you want. And I can't, what did you open? And then he put it into the most elaborate decanter. And he comes outside and it was like a big red wine and it was like 10 a.m.
Yeah,
and we were all like, oh, okay.
I opened a 95 Amarone. I opened a 94 Robert Mondavi.
Sorry, Andy, we love you.
Yeah, it was such a boss move.
Yeah, we love
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
It was such a boss move. He's like,
breakfast
this is a cool
wine.
decanter. It was
For
like
real.
that big.
I had just learned how to use a Duran maybe like a week before. So I was
fun.
trying to grab as many old bottles to be able to like practice.
Hell Practice makes perfect.
You get Duran.
Skills to
You get
use.
Duran.
Wow,
That's funny.
things that wine dreams are made of. Oh my gosh.
It wasn't terrible. It was not
It
terrible.
was,
It was
It
not
was not
trash, to
trash.
quote George.
It was not trash.
Not
It was
trash.
not trash.
Nice.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
I
something
feel
I-
like, oh, go,
Okay.
Matthew. Go.
Well, I was going to say, I learned that it's real easy to think that things are hard to cook or dishes are hard to make. But really, if you look at one YouTube video and learn ingredients, it's all about preparation and timing. So I trained my mind to work a certain way just to take away like it seems scary to make risotto or to make, cassoulet or whatever these dishes or ratatouille if you've never made that. But really, it's just having a process and understanding when things have to be done. So I learned that I can compartmentalize that stuff and just break it down, make it a little easier because cooking's really not that hard per se. It's technique a lot of times, but it's really order of operations.
That makes sense.
Completely.
Spices.
Just remove the emotion from it,
Got it.
I definitely,
Absolutely.
I felt like people don't believe me, but I mean it. Like the best time that I cook, I guess, is like showing up without a plan, like just stopping, looking what's available and pulling something together. I didn't realize that is how I genuinely cook every single day. Like when I cook for myself, what do I have? I'm going to make something from that. And I didn't realize how like that would show up on the show because it was harder for me to walk in with a plan than it was for me to just say, I know how to balance acid. I know how to balance like sugar and fat. And I think I just got to go with what I can when I get up there to shoot. But I felt like without a plan, I did better.
More
I
creative.
would have never been able to put no apples in no vinegar and be like, this.
I'm a big fan of pickles, Glennis, if you don't know this about
I
me.
love pickles too, but I would have never figured that out. I'd have been screwed up. I was like, just give me the wine. I'm not kidding. Next.
That was
Same
really
blend.
fun.
It's same. It would have just been plain apples and then
Apples.
the other stuff.
Right.
That is
Y'all got some
Or some
caramel up
legit
there?
pickles. That's it. That's all I got.
Y'all know I pickle
Everything out of a jar.
Oh, so y'all don't know. Sarita is the chef of the Swirl Suite. She could actually be on the show with y'all because that cooks her
Cool.
color
Oh no.
that makes us
All right.
look real bad.
Be careful,
Yeah.
Jason's
No
listening.
bragging
So
again.
You're gonna get a call from Jason. Yeah, watch
Oh,
out.
Sarita's
Sarita's the
See?
one. I'm in the back ordering reservations, but Sarita's the
Right.
one making
We'll
dishes.
plan the
cooking
trip
on.
wherever we're going internationally. We all got our, things that we do well, but the cook, that would be Sarita.
Nice.
Megan, what about you?
I think for me, I haven't ever been that experimental in the kitchen. Like I like playing around with like an ingredient here or there, but it really made you like go outside your comfort zone. But I think it also makes you trust your palate. And so like for me, I was like, oh, your wine palate really can transfer in the kitchen, which I think a lot of people know, but until you like really are putting it to work like every day and like you're actually competing, like that was something that I learned. I just like how much fun it is, and it encouraged me to experiment even more in the kitchen too, which I think is like I want people to take that from the show, because I'm like, oh, it's so much fun. It doesn't need to be intimidating, because competing against, like you see the talent of the cast, like competing against people, it's really intimidating. But I was like, you know what? It was actually fun. And now I'm like, I'm at home like looking for more different ingredients to like throw in my things and then like taste, like really tasting it with the wine. And I mean, I am a wine professional, but I think even more about it now and just how fun it was. Like, I think that was the takeaway, was like how fun it was and how fun it was to cook with your friends too. It just like encouraged me to want to do it more.
Yeah.
George and Claire, did you answer?
I didn't.
I think, I was the first to answer.
Oh, okay. Okay.
George was the first.
Soccer.
Again.
I'm a big control freak in my life, something I'm working on getting better at. And I like things to be very like perfect and orderly. And so this show very much made me not, I couldn't do that because I don't have a lot of the, I have like the knowledge in my head from working in restaurants of like, oh, like this dish is complete or not, and a general knowledge of how to make it, but I don't have the muscle memory of making dishes or the technique in a kitchen. So I kind of had to just relinquish control at a certain point, which I think in several episodes you can see. And it was it just like Megan said, it just made it fun because I was like, well, this is life, isn't it? You can't control everything. I'm in a strange kitchen with 5 cameras pointed at me and I don't know where the spatula is. This heat is too high because the wind will blow it out if it's, anything lower than blazingly hot. So you just have to give up control and just kind of go with it and have fun at a certain point. So that was chill. That was nice.
The Sonoma kitchen was a challenge. That's being kind saying, but we had this amazing kitchen in Oregon that made things easier. It was set up to be a proper, mansion kitchen. And then we go to Sonoma and we had this amazing property in Deloche Vineyards. They have this great little house they let us use. And the kitchen they had looked like 1960 grandma style. There was no chance there's no chance our team would ever film in there ever. They were like, the second they saw it, they were like, nope. And all of us were like, so where the fuck are we going to cook then? And outside was the answer, which it's very challenging.
Yeah. I feel like not being able to control your heat with just the cast iron and the fire made it a lot more challenging.
Yeah, you have to like take the pans off to let them cool before you actually put stuff in.
I didn't even think about that. I just panicked and everything overcooked those couple episodes that I did it. So I was pissed.
I think like what you see is what we had. What you see on the screen, there was no additional kitchen space like near us or around us.
No. It was like glamping.
Yeah.
Johnny Cakes and Bacon. Johnny Cakes and Bacon. Cast
hey,
that's all.
Miriam, were you joking when you said you brought your own smoked paprika?
No, I wasn't joking.
No, Miriam and Meg both brought like their entire supplemental kitchens.
Well, I was like, shit.
It was a different. Everybody. So to be fair to both Miriam and Megan, it was a different.
I don't mean negatively.
It was a different setup than the first kitchen we were in, where we did have more access to dry ingredients and like a pantry. And this, we're not joking. The outdoor kitchen is what we had. There was not really like a stock of dry goods or things that you could, get creative with. And so, yeah, I did bring smoked paprika with me, and I'm not sorry about
do it again.
They would let it, like if in the morning we had planned on something, they'd let us put it on like a grocery list and then they'd go try to find it. And the whole thing was, if you get it, everyone can use it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All the stuff that they brought was available to all of us. It just, and also you guys had a home advantage at that point. You were 20 minutes from home. Me and Claire had to fly up on a little small plane to get up there, and I wasn't going to bring any ingredients in my, carry on. Actually, I drove. I could. I'm lying.
Some of us would actually hide ingredients.
Oh, some of us would they?
Who is that? Why am I not surprised?
Whoa, truth comes out.
I don't know who would do that, but
who's some of us?
You're hearing it first here on the Swirl Suite.
That's right.
Damn, is there like
George, you hit ingredients and you still didn't win?
Is there another podcast about our show I don't know about that we're like dropping alpha on right now?
Yo,
what did you
why me and Miriam have this contentious relationship?
They got to take it out with Uno. What did you, George? What did you hoard away there, my friend?
Well, I didn't hoard anything away. I really didn't.
Oh,
Oh,
wait,
just shots
are you
fired.
stirring the pot right now? Did somebody do that?
I thought somebody would admit to their hiding.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
I wish I was that slick.
Okay, so nobody's going to confess. Gotcha. Okay, we'll move on. So if you were to return to the show as an actual judge, what ingredient would you like to see in a challenge?
Mm-mm.
That's a great question.
Like, let's make them do something disgusting.
Chitlins. Chitlins, for sure.
That's
I
a
would
good
love
one.
to
Did
see
you say
somebody
chitlins?
make chitlins.
Chitlins.
Yeah, for sure.
That's tough.
Definitely.
That's tough.
Exactly, because everybody can't cook them or eat them.
Yeah.
Or clean them well. Yes.
What do you mean, everybody? Nobody. No, it's a terrible dish.
There you go.
Chitlins,
Okay.
Andriette, anything like it. Let's let that go.
Oh, you have to tell that story.
I want to see somebody
I'm not telling that story.
beautiful.
Good work.
Oh my gosh. Can we go back to who hoarded the ingredient? I'm nosy. I'm sorry.
Was that a pot stir or a real thing?
I think he's pot stirring.
Ooh.
I'll just stir in a pot.
But now I'm even like looking back and I was like, did I hide something?
Well, I'm a stoner. I might have done it and forgotten.
I don't think I
even know.
did. I definitely
In your apron?
I came from LA in my apron. There's all sorts of things in there. No, I don't think I did.
If we had the ability
I
to
was drunk.
fry something, like more fried stuff would be great. I love fried stuff.
Fried
with
chicken.
Sparkling.
Yeah, fried
Ooh,
chicken
fried
would have been
chicken.
cool.
Yeah, that would have been
That's
really
a good
cool.
one.
I think
Yeah,
doing
I'm on
actual
this,
escargot instead of
Ooh,
the
yeah.
caviar would be good. Because that's hard too,
Yeah.
right? Because you can like turn that into rubber in a matter of seconds.
I'm
Yeah.
a snail person
Yeah.
in general.
That
Just
Well, you
add
don't
some
have to.
salt and get rid of them.
Right? That's why people drown them in the butter and the garlic, right? So you can't taste them.
It's true.
I'm sorry.
fried anything
No.
sounds great right now. I'm on a strictly keto diet, so I would
Oh no.
I would love to see something. Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Something that's strictly like vegetarian or like a
that's a
whole
good-
vegetarian
vegan.
menu.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah,
or
we
vegan.
didn't have enough
Vegan.
vegetables.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I know we
Yeah.
did the ratatouille,
Yeah.
which of course is vegetarian. But yeah, pretty much everything else I think consisted of meat. So I think doing something vegan, that would be pretty challenging as well, just to make it really really good and make it feel like you're not missing anything.
I like that,
feel
George.
Cool.
Yeah.
The 11
That's a good
Madison
call.
Park of sparklers. Yeah. Go vegan. Let's do it. I would do fried green tomatoes. That'd be kind of cool. Little Southern flair.
Oh, that's
My
a
family,
great one.
my mom's from
Yeah,
Louisiana, so I got to bring a little Southern flair at times.
Mm.
What kind of sauce would you use for your fried green tomatoes? Because sometimes that dipping sauce for fried green tomatoes
Yeah.
make it. Or
I would either do a grabiche style or I'd do like a salsa verde, probably.
yeah,
Now I'm hungry.
nice.
I know.
You know, it would be a weird ingredient. I just saw this.
Tell me.
Eel.
Oh, that'd be
Oh
interesting.
man, that would
Eel.
be.
Eel's
What
hard
do
to
you do
handle.
with that? Because it's so slippery.
Have to
Yeah,
get
I
like the
agree
eel
with
knife.
I would have no idea
Never-
what to do with that.
I've never cooked
Yeah,
it.
me neither.
I haven't either. That would be
Oh.
challenging.
That would be like
Mm-hmm.
a real wrench in the. I'd be like the.
That'd be like
Sea
the
snake.
snail egg of the next.
Yeah, that would be the snail egg of the next one.
Maybe there's eel caviar.
Oh,
Oh God.
Jesus.
No, I think
I
it's
would-
just fetal eel.
Oh, come on now.
Ew.
All right.
Ew.
Well, there's that.
On that note, love
Glad
you
you
all.
had
Bye.
us.
Have our soundbite.
Yeah, thanks for
had
having
us.
us. This is amazing.
Fetal eel syndrome. Good to go.
Mm-mm.
So I think
Get
maybe
to the
one of you
feels.
answered this question already, but I wanted to hear from all of you. What do you want viewers to take away from the show?
I feel like Meg did answer that so well.
Have fun with your friends.
Yeah, it's been really cool. We've gotten some people who've been watching the show, like trying their own version of Perfect Bite. And it's really
Yeah.
cool to see. And it's not just with sparkling wine, like people are trying it with other wines too. So maybe just people walking away thinking about like how to pair food and wine differently and not being like intimidated to try something different.
That's good.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think I want people to take away is just have fun. Like, have fun with it. You know, you don't have to have, you know, fancy plates or fancy ingredients to have an amazing pairing. Honestly, it could be something as simple as, you know, sparkling wine and fried chicken. You know, it could be something as simple as, you know, a peanut butter jelly sandwich and some Beaujolais. I don't know. It could be whatever, you know, and still be absolutely amazing, you know. So if anyone takes away anything, yeah, simplicity in life and is, I think, you know, better.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we made something delicious with only 5 ingredients. You know, we didn't have anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's like salt was an ingredient, like fat was an ingredient, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, you know, so if you can, I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
No, yeah, but yeah, simplicity. Like honestly, if you can take 5 ingredients and make something delicious, yeah, you can find whatever and have an amazing experience.
Food and wine is meant to be enjoyed.
Exactly.
People should have a good time with it. Yeah.
Don't over
something that's been like a life goal of mine and a life kind of philosophy change that really this experience cemented was to stop being so hard on myself and for all of us to stop being so hard on ourselves, because in the kitchen, like I alluded to earlier, like we all think maybe it's hard to make certain dishes or it takes expertise and a lot of you know, hours in the kitchen making it. But really the only thing holding us back is our own mental capacity and our own kind of, there's this fight or flight thing that happens when you're nervous or you don't have experience with something. And I just say, fuck that, go for it, try it. And it's okay if it doesn't work and it doesn't taste good, get better next time, learn from it. But with cooking, you really do learn. We're only going to be held back by our own ability to understand if I can make it or not, or if I'll let myself try to make it. So go out there, don't be hard on yourself. And it's okay to mess up. Like I fucked up a couple times and I was fine with it. I will again.
Just watch the snail egg episode. You'll feel really good about yourself.
Those are words to live by, Matt. I think I'm gonna have to try to cook now.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
I'm not.
So would you guys do it again?
I know.
Hell yeah. Would we do it again?
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Yes. Especially with this group. I love this group so much.
I'd prefer as a judge, but yeah, I'd do it again.
It's the 5 of us sitting down and judging other people.
Yeah.
Just eating it.
Yeah, I won't lie. I stopped cooking for like months after. Honestly, like, no, I didn't cook at all for probably 4 or 5 months.
It
was exhausting.
Then you get back into it though, and you're just like I'm gonna make one of the dishes
I
tonight for someone.
actually started cooking more, honestly.
I was gonna
say, so it lit a fire. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like people are expecting more from me when they come to my house. I'm like, what is this? I didn't open a restaurant.
Here's a veggie tray and some chips.
Yeah.
Joy.
Make your own perfect bite.
Yeah.
Actually, you're the judge. They're cooking for you.
This is a good idea. We should do that.
Jason.
We should have our friends come over. We put out ingredients for them and say, feed me. Perfect bite. Go.
I love this idea.
I'm in. I'll supply the wine so I don't feel bad.
Excellent.
Nice.
What are you guys doing for the finale?
Yo, yes. Let's
should
link
get together.
up. Let's do it.
Oh, we should cook together. That'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Speaking of finale, what day does your show come out so everybody knows?
The finale is next Tuesday, the 8th.
Tuesday, February 8th.
February 8th. Yeah.
So crazy.
5:30 Pacific time.
So that means you can either find out who wins if you've been paying attention, or you can binge the shit out of it after February 8th. You'll have all episodes to watch.
Yeah.
Go. Let's go.
Yes.
Did you say
Meg, we're
5:30
coming.
time?
You want to come over to my house?
5:30 Pacific time.
Okay.
Yeah.
SOMMTV.com. SOMMTV.com.
We can open a bottle.
A bottle, Meg. I think you got more than a few bottles to spare.
Well, what about the big bottle?
Wow.
Ooh, I like where this is going.
Which one? Damn
I
it, I
like
want
where
to
this is
come.
going.
Magnum
out.
Power Hour.
Hell, I want to come.
Come, everyone, come. Let's do this.
Oh man, nice. Oh.
All right, so we have a
God.
fun closeout game with y'all.
Mm.
Okay. I'm going to name
Okay.
a quote and you guys are going to tell me who said it.
Oh, God.
Who said it?
I like this.
All
Who said
right. All right, here we go. Here's an easy one. We'll start off easy. Foragers, your main job is not to kill me.
Miriam.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so here is a more challenging one. Are there potato chip sommeliers? Because I feel like I could do that.
Ooh.
I think that was Claire.
Claire?
Yes,
I
that
don't
was
think
you, Claire.
Oh, okay, cool.
I tried to
like,
do
no.
your voice. Did you not hear it? I tried to mimic you.
That's fine.
I would be good at that. I stand by what I said.
I think Frito-Lay is actually hiring. I saw a LinkedIn post about that. So
Ooh.
forward it to you.
I don't want to work for the man. I want to work for a little dude.
Damn it.
Anyway,
Okay, that's fair.
continue.
All right, so who said this? As long
Who
as I
said
be-
the other one though? Did we ever
Oh.
get
Me.
It was Claire.
You did
it was
say
Claire.
Claire.
Yeah,
Okay.
she said it. She
Apparently.
just doesn't remember saying it. Was she said?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So who said this? As long as I beat Miriam, I'll be fine.
Come on.
Oh.
George.
George.
How'd that go? How'd that
I
go
didn't
for you,
even-
George?
I didn't even beat her. Like that's the fucked up part. Like, and I didn't even lose to her. We tied, which is even worse.
We can't put this to bed. Like it's just still a problem now. We're gonna have to play Uno again.
Yo, you don't want these. You don't want these problems, G. You don't want these problems.
Okay. So who said this? I'm surprised this didn't take longer because of the OCD.
It was Megan.
Meg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I was like, that was
it's a very
Yeah.
Meg
When you
thing to
when
say.
you and Claire cooked together, it was quite funny.
oh my God.
We prepared.
Yes.
We prepared.
We made our OCD worse, I think. Working together.
For sure. It's great. I loved it.
Yeah.
All right.
We're
So
out.
who said this last quote? We all want to one up each other. Everyone is here to have fun, but also walk away a winner.
Matt.
Kaner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds like Kaner. What is Meg? Meg has a great quote too. When you guys are foraging and you're like,
Oh,
sounds
yeah.
like something only people
A
who
loser would, yeah. You said I don't
Because
want
I
to
think-
lose, and Kaner was like, "Oh, losing is part of like
Said it's
learning
losing
at
is
life."
humbling. Yeah.
And yeah, Megan's like, "That sounds like something someone who loses a lot would say."
That was so great.
It was a solid
Duh.
P.
And then I brought her right to the leaks. You're welcome. I still
I have
gave you
to
leaks.
say-
Yeah.
It
You're
looks like
welcome.
she found the leaks on the show.
I know.
I found the
Editing,
moss
man.
and the flowers.
No, what it was is I found it and I said, I think those are leaks. And she goes, you mean like this? And just pulls one out.
Yeah.
It was huge. I
Yes. It was awesome.
was like
It
the size of a
My girl.
baseball bat.
It was a big
My
week.
girl.
That was the best foraging we found there. The places they took the main chef there were not the places they took us. Let's put it that way.
Okay. So I was gonna ask you, did you know how to forage before this challenge? Or was this like you all's first time foraging for ingredients for your dishes?
I have
Glennis,
foraged before, but not in Oregon.
Yeah, I followed. The behind the scenes is I got to watch. I couldn't say anything, but I got to watch them forage. So I was like, let me make sure I'll be okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't get her anything that she can't eat.
Yeah. There was no like little colorful newts putting their tongue on things, giving her psychedelic experiences. We made sure of it. And she made sure of it.
Yeah, we were like, we're staying away from anything that's questionable.
Mm.
Yeah.
'Cause we-
But it was hard to forage on that property.
Yeah.
It looked
Imagine.
Well, we also didn't have a lot of time, so we had to stay close to the house, and that because of that, our options were very
Yeah.
limited.
Okay. Nice. I think I would have been really in trouble again because I'm such a city girl. Looks like grass. Oh no.
Guess we're not eating.
Guess we're gonna starve. We're just gonna drink tonight.
Yep.
Just pull
And
out another
Glennis, you're so
bottle.
particular with what you eat. I
Yes.
can't see you doing that at all.
Oh, no.
Like, wait, where did this come from? What's that on the bottom? Did you clean that good enough? I don't think you cleaned it.
See
Do
how
you need
my
to cook? Do you
co-host-
need to cook that some more? I don't think that's right.
You should have been one of the judges.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, my co-hosts know me so well, but I don't even think I could be a co-host because I'm so particular in what I eat that I'd be like, what's the one?
That's awesome.
That is
Like the
funny.
snail caviar, you wouldn't have done it. You'd have looked at it and been like,
Nah.
I'm not.
Hell no.
Yeah, but is there another episode I
No.
can do? Because this isn't the one.
Now, I do fish caviar, but snails, I'd have been like, y'all on y'all own, just scrape them off. You
He
want
said,
it?
"No."
I mean, we didn't want
I don't
to.
recommend it.
Mm-mm.
See?
No, don't do it.
Oh, that was funny because when the judge, she was like, she would eat it and her face. I was like, well, did she like that or she didn't like that? And then what she critiqued on for some of you versus what she critiqued on the other, I couldn't really tell.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I don't know.
He was good.
Most of our judges had like serious poker faces.
Like,
Yeah.
poker face is
Noticed
right.
that.
You never
For
knew.
sure.
Katie
Yeah.
Flannery, like just watching
Oh.
that episode, she was just
Oh
like,
my god.
cool, okay, bye. And you're
Yeah.
He saw my face. I was like,
Meg's response to hers was the best one. I
Exactly.
rewinded it and watched that again like 3 times.
well, I was just like staring. You can see me. I'm like trying to read her mind.
No mind tricks with her. No Jedi.
Totally failing.
No.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't Jedi her.
He was yeah.
That was interesting. Man.
Yeah.
I'm so
So
in awe.
since we're wrapping up, tell everybody where they can follow you individually.
So my Instagram is George. Sorry.
He goes first again.
I believe my Instagram is George Walks 3. So yeah, George Walks with the number 3. Yeah, I am there.
Mine is Megs MEGS _Zobeck ZOBECK on Instagram, and then I also have m.Zobeck wines.
yeah, Drinker Wines.
Mhm.
I got
Mine
a bottle.
is Miriam and Company, and good friends, good food.
Mine is Claire _Copy on Instagram.
I'm at Matthew J. Kaner everywhere, and then willtravelforwine.com. Let's go.
Yes.
Congrats
Come
on that.
Business.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
Congrats.
It took me 12 years to make a website. No big deal. So stupid.
You've
got a
been doing it
logo
for 12.
now.
I mean, you've been doing it for like ever.
Yeah.
Now you just
It
have a
didn't keep me
website.
from getting jobs, thankfully, but it's just like
It's
now
official
people
now.
can search it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, this was awesome. Thank you
Yes, it
so
was.
much
Yeah.
for hanging with
Yes.
us today.
you.
We love the
Thank
show.
you.
We
Thank
can't
you,
wait to
thank
see
you.
who's gonna win. So we'll be watching next week.
And who's coming to France?
Right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Gonna find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be good.
Thank
George
you for
Mer-
having us.
George,
Of
Mary, and I are going
course.
to figure it out. Let's
Thank you,
go.
guys.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
We should pop some
Nice.
So
bottles
much.
together.
Yes,
Yes.
of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Megan, looking for some of those bottles that you were going to send them.
We got to go to Leslie House and get them. That's fine.
I gotta get the addresses.